Lotus has had electrified plans for some time now. There's always been talk of an SUV too. Well, those worlds have combined to deliver an all-electric Lotus SUV, and it's called the Eletre. We've all heard about it before, but now we have a ton more information on hand. And this thing could be a proper monster. Just one that whirs instead of roars. In profile, it has a DBX meets CX-5 vibe to it, and from the nose it has an Urus quality about it, but taken as an entire package, it's clearly something new and quite exciting based on the specs that Lotus has tossed out. The Eletre will arrive in one of three versions. You have the base model, the Eletre S, and the Eletre R. All three pack a 112 kilowatt-hour battery pack under the skin, and that pack feeds a pair of motors that drive all four wheels. On the base Eletre and the S, you're looking at 602 horsepower and 523 pound-feet of torque. Lotus says that the combined power figure is evenly dealt from the pair of motors. Jump to the R, however, and the rear motor is swapped out for one throwing down 603 horsepower on its own. Now output rises to an insane 905 horsepower and 726 pound-feet of torque. That's enough electric shove to motivate the Eletre from 0 to 62 miles per hour in a wicked 2.9 seconds. The base and S versions aren't slow by any means, they just can't touch the R. Those versions instead get a quoted 0 to 62 mile per hour time of 4.5 seconds. To keep the ride in check, the Eletre gets adaptive dampers and adjustable ride height. You can fit the car with carbon ceramic brakes, and the Eletre R also gets an active anti-roll system to keep the thing flat through the corners. As for charging speeds, Lotus claims it will be able to suck down juice at up to 350 kilowatts. I've yet to see a vehicle that can actually hit that number, but maybe Lotus is ready to be the first. The Eletre also should promise good range figures too, at least on the base and S models. Lotus says it will be good for over 370 miles on a charge, but that's on Europe's equivalent test metric, which is generally far more optimistic than what the EPA figures out. Still, anything over 300 miles in this thing should be excellent. I'd have to imagine it would be hard to hit that number in the Eletre R though, especially since you would want to hustle it any chance you can get. As for the price, Lotus hasn't announced figures for the US yet, but based on what it said about the UK market, the base car should be in the mid $80,000 range, an S will nearly touch 100, and the R will be over 110. And the Eletre should hit the market sometime in 2024. So, start saving now and make sure you include enough money for a John Player special black and gold paint scheme.